I'm wrapping up this letter that I wrote you. Maybe it's the only way to cut through. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. Though it hurts, I only wish you blessings. When intuition talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh, no looking back this time. 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 Running from the truth was getting reckless. In your arms I never felt protected. Oh. 'Cause you don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh. No looking back this time. 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 No looking back this time.
Evening, evening, evening. I hope you are all well today. I hope you are all well. And it's my birthday today. So happy birthday to me. And hope everybody is well. What a day. What a day it's been, especially for me anyway. So there's loads and loads of stuff I want to talk to you about. Obviously, a lot of this is based around Isaac. We don't really need to go into too much detail about the Liverpool players that are leaving, the Liverpool game that happened, the upcoming game that's going on. It's pretty irrelevant right now. Everybody wants to know about Isaac. So I'm going to talk about Isaac. I'm going to talk about the Liverpool side. I'm also going to talk a lot about Newcastle in this show because there's a reason why Alexander Isak wants to leave Newcastle. And I don't think Newcastle fans quite understand it. And it's not about PSR and it's not about any of that stuff. There is a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes at Newcastle, which is not good for Newcastle. And I can go into that in more detail because The Athletic has done a really good interview with a Newcastle reporter who basically loves Newcastle, but had a hell of a lot to say about Newcastle and what's happened in the last couple of years. Makes a lot of sense why Isaac probably wants to go. Anyway, we can go into that today. In case you want to know how old I am, I'm 48. I'm 48 today. 48 years young. Yeah, and I feel like I'm 38. No, I don't. Let me just go into the YouTube channel and just give a couple of members a shout out, by the way. I have to say, unbelievable. Like yesterday I did my rabbit hole show, and I genuinely can't believe how many people turned up. Huge respect to you all that turned up for that show. I was absolutely shattered doing that show, but you all turned up. I've had like nearly 300 views on that video, and I've only got 261 members. So incredible. I appreciate you all for tuning in. We managed to push out 2 hours. I don't know how I did that, to be honest. I was dying, but we did it. I had like a birthday roast dinner and pudding and had a cake and everything. So I was just like in a food coma. I couldn't hack it, but we managed to do it. So let me just do a couple of shout outs to the members today. Big up Polo, big up Eric, big up John, big up James, big up Graham, big up Liverpool Goals, big up Mr. Sky Blue. Some interesting stuff you got me to talk about yesterday, by the way, Sky Blue. Big up Aliez. Always an Isaac believer, Aliez. Respect. Big up Real Jared as well, mate. Big up Real Jared. Hope you're well, mate. Big up John. Big up Jen. Thank you so much, Jen, for the memberships as well. Amazing. Lots of extra members got to view the show yesterday because of you. Big up Jen. Big up Millsy. Who else have we got in the house? Oh, big up John. Oliver James for the 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much, Oliver. I'm going to bring that up shortly. Big up Brett. Big up Too Slick. Big up Magnus Eriksson, Muller, Peter JT, Buffalo Soldier, Chaz. Who else have we got? Invest Connect, Simon T, EMJP, Josh Hardin. Wow, there's loads of you in right now. Amazing stuff. Let me just quickly put a W in the chat, please. Put a W in the chat for Oliver, especially if you've just got a membership off him. Put a W in the chat if you just got a membership off Oliver. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Oliver. That's another 5 members. That's me up to about 200 and, 67. Insane. Like the fact that I've got 1,600 subscribers and nearly 300 members is amazing. Like I honestly don't know what to say. Like I'm lost for words. That kind of ratio is what we're going to be getting with Isaac and Verts. That kind of ratio is what we're going to be getting with them. To have 1,600 subscribers and nearly 300 members is just amazing. Like this is such a community. It really is. I genuinely didn't think I'd have a community like this. I wasn't sure whether I could do it organically. A lot of people do stuff where they buy things and they buy their subscribers and all of that nonsense. Or they use like content content channels to promote them, and they pay YouTube to promote them and stuff like that. I've done nothing like that. I've just gone pure organic. Tried a couple of different ways to interact, change my my photographs and my thumbnails to make them look a bit more catchy, and less words in there. Didn't put my face on there, which obviously helps, especially when you've got a face for radio. But yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being part of the community, and I hope we can continue this, especially when we start the season. When I'm going to try a lot of new things. I'm going to try reviews. I'm going to try post-match analysis. I'm also going to do Premier League games where I review all the games, have a look at stuff like that. I'm not going to copy channels, but I'm going to take elements out of channels like the Football Terrace does the top 6. I might do something similar, but I might just do the top 4 instead, or something like that. I don't know yet. I've not thought about it. And then I might obviously get guests on there. But I'm not going to be doing the stuff which a lot of people do where they have loads of guests and they just argue the whole time. Like, that's just not my style. I want things to be cheerful. I want things to have some jokes in it and some funnies. And I always try to incorporate that in. And I also want to kind of maybe introduce maybe some producers where they can showcase their music at the start of a show. I'm going to also look at that as well. So if any of you lot make any music, any of you lot know any music producers that want to get a track played, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay, I'm here for it. Okay, 177 of you in here. Let's get things started. Right. First of all, I wanted to have a look at Newcastle in general. Yeah. So there's a couple of things which I think are interesting about Newcastle. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of screen shares. You know how it goes. Okay, a couple of screen shares to start things off. Let's have a look at Newcastle. Okay, so first of all, only a week ago, Newcastle recruited a technical director to the club. Okay. You have to ask the question, why have you employed a technical director to your club? Yeah. That's a question. Why have you employed a technical director to the club? Okay. You don't actually have a sporting director. Newcastle don't have a sporting director at the club. Newcastle don't have a head scout at the club. Newcastle don't have a CO who is actually fit for purpose at the club. The CO resigned last year, but they had to keep him because they couldn't find another one. And he has chronic illness. Like, this is what I've just found out about Newcastle. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on at Newcastle. Like, there really is. There's so much disjointed things that have happened at Newcastle, which does make you have to think about, well, hang on a minute. From a player perspective, from an ambition perspective, who's this guy you've just got as your technical director? Yeah. So let's find out who this guy is. Shall we just find out who he is? Okay. So I'm now looking online because I've only just got this name myself of who this technical director is. Okay. So who is this technical director? Right. So let's have a look. Newcastle United recruit, I'm just going to call him SG because that name's insane, to technical director role. There he is. Who is he? Reporting into the new sporting director. Okay, so reporting into a new sporting director will lead the club's football data operations, working closely with Eddie Howe and his coaching staff and the club's performance medical analysis methodology and recruitment teams. He joins from leaving Italian side Atalanta, where he was the director of football intelligence during his time in Bergamo. Okay, so he came from Atalanta. Prior to his move to Italy, he was the head of data science at Benfica. Okay, so this guy seems like a good fit. Yeah, he seems like a good fit. Who does he report to? He's reporting to the sporting director. So shall we have a look if Newcastle have a sporting director? Shall we have a look? Have Newcastle got a sporting director? Have Newcastle actually got Newcastle actually got on their website a staff? I'm just asking the question. Like, have they actually got a list of staff? Because for me, I think that's kind of important. And I'm looking and I am not seeing anything in here that tells me about the staff that are at the club. And this is where I want to go with this. This is the Newcastle website. And I don't see anything in there that tells you about the staff members at the club. Okay? And I can just go to Liverpool FC. Yeah? I can just go to Liverpool FC. I can just go to Liverpool FC and I can go to teams and fixtures. Yeah? And I can look at players and staff. I don't know about you, but I'm looking at players and staff. And guess what it gives me? I get a big list of everybody that's at Liverpool. Arnie Slot, Van Bronckhorst, Xavi Valero. I get a list of all the people that are at Liverpool. I don't get a list of anybody at Newcastle. Why is that? Why are we not being able to see any of the staff at Newcastle? And the reason why is because they have lost a lot of staff. But nobody knows about it. Nobody hears about it. How can you start a season, quite possibly your biggest season ever as a club, because you've just won your first trophy in 80 years and you've just qualified for the Champions League, and you haven't even got yourselves a sporting director? You haven't even got yourselves a director of football. You haven't. You haven't got yourself a new guy to replace Paul Mitchell. It says vacant. It says vacant. Okay, so Wikipedia is the way you find out who Newcastle have got in their backroom staff. I like that. That's hilarious. Okay, so you've got your owner of your club of Newcastle only a couple of years ago, by the way. Actually, let me find you the interview. Because this one will blow your socks off. Okay. Here we go. 2023. 2023. 2 years ago, Newcastle United chief Yasser Al-Rumayyan reveals aims and desire for Magpies to become number one club. You haven't even got a director of football, mate. Like, you haven't even got yourselves a new director of football. And you want to be number one. I'm sorry, but if you want to be number one, you need to get your house in order. And your house is very, very disjointed. You've got shit all over the place, mate. You've left your washing out. You've got dirty dishes in the sink. You've got shit stains on your toilet. Your bed's not made. Like, your house is a mess. Your house is a mess, and your grass is outgrowing. Your grass is growing up to up to up to hip height. You've got broken windows. You've got tiles that have fell off the roof. Seriously? And you want to be number one? You want to be number one, and you haven't sorted out your director of football. And you wonder why your number one guy wants to leave. Really? You wonder why your number one guy wants to leave. And you have to ask this question, okay? You have to ask this question now. And this is the question, yeah? It sounds like Old Trafford. It does sound like Old Trafford. Leaky roof, mate, leaky roof. You have to ask this question. If he stays, yeah? If he stays and he gives you another 4 years, yeah? He's just like Harry Kane. He's just like Harry Kane. He'll potentially win 1 trophy, maybe 2 trophies in his career, and they won't be good trophies. It'll be an FA Cup, or it'll be a League Cup, or it'll be a Europa League. That's all you're going to get. And then you have to sit there and say, oh, you can all sit there as Newcastle fans and go, oh, Alexander Isak, bravo, bravo, he's a one-man club. Like, he stayed with us the whole time. Bravo, bravo. But then you have to sit there and really go, he's wasted his career, that guy. He could have been more. He could have done more. That guy could have won more cups. That guy could have been in the Ballon d'Or running. That guy could have been something special. But instead, he leaves Newcastle at the age of 29, and he's won maybe 1 more trophy, and maybe he goes to Bayern Munich, just like Harry Kane did. Or maybe he goes to Barcelona when he's 29, maybe, or maybe just goes to Saudi Arabia. But then you sit there and go, God, he wasted his career, didn't he? He wasted his career just because he was dedicated to the club. And I'm sorry, but if your club is not ambitious, how do you expect your players to be ambitious? And your owner's coming out and saying he wants to be number one. Well, I'm sorry, mate. You can't even be number 4. You can't even be number 4 right now, because you've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, and Chelsea ahead of you. And next season, it's going to be the same. You're not going to be number 1. How can you expect a guy that wants to be number 1 to stay at your club if you can't be number 1? Or you can't even aim to be number 1, because you're starting your season without a major piece in your staff, which is a director of football. Like, why did you let Paul Mitchell go if you weren't going to get another guy in quickly enough? Like, Liverpool got rid of our lot, as in Georgie Smacked went. We got Hughes in sharpish. Richard Hughes was already looking at players while he was at Bournemouth for Liverpool. Like, make no bones about it. Like, we already planted the seed with Richard Hughes. Yeah, you're coming to Liverpool 3 months' time. 3 months' time, prep for that. While he was doing his gardening leave at Bournemouth. Paul Mitchell's gone. Who've Newcastle got? Newcastle are looking at Julian Ward. Like, they're looking at one of our guys, Julian Ward. They're not going to get him. Why does he want to go? Why does he want to leave Liverpool? Nobody wants to leave Liverpool unless they've got real ambition. And it's fair enough with Johnny Heitinger. He went for a managerial job. Like, of course, he's going to be the manager of Ajax. Like, he was an assistant manager to Slot. And that's the question. People are sat there, and I see all the media, and I see all the rivals going, oh, he should stay at Newcastle. He should sign a new contract. He should commit to the club. Why? Why should he commit to the club? What's he going to get out of it? One more trophy? Like, if he's ambitious, then he'll leave the club and he'll go and win stuff at a club that's competing. Newcastle aren't competing, and they're not going to be competing. I mean, should we look at the Newcastle squad? Let's just look at the Newcastle squad. Yeah. Okay. Let's look. Let's see if Newcastle are going to be competing. Yeah. Let's really nail this one down. Yeah, and have a look if Newcastle are going to be competing. Okay. So let's have a look. Not this. Sorry. Let's remove that. Let's have a look if Newcastle are going to be competing next season with their current squad. Shall we have a look? Shall we see if Newcastle can compete next season with their current squad? Actually, have I got it on the screen? I might have it on the main screen. I have. Hang on, let me just cut and paste that into. Let me just cut and paste that into here. 2 seconds. My bad. Okay, so let's have a look at Newcastle. Are Newcastle going to be competing next season? Yeah. Shall we just break this one down? Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at the team. Nick Pope. Okay, is Nick Pope a good enough goalkeeper to be in a top 14? Yes or no? Yes or no? Nick Pope. Yes or no? Good enough to be in a top 14? Kieran Trippier. Is he good enough to be in a top 14? Kieran Trippier's like 34 now. Nick Pope's like 32. Is he good enough to be in a top 14? Kieran Trippier. Yes or no? Jamal Lascelles. Is Jamal Lascelles good enough to be in a top 14? Yes or no? Yes or no? Because look, at the end of the day, you've got their manager, you've got the owner coming out and saying, "Oh, we want to be number one. We want to be number one." Okay, so the first 3 players on that list are not good enough to be in the top 14, if you ask me. Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, and Jamal Lascelles. No. Tonali. Is Tonali good enough to be in the top 14? I would say yes. Anthony Gordon. Is Anthony Gordon good enough to be in a top 14? I would say maybe. Okay. There's a lot of people that would say no, but I would say maybe. Yeah. Depending on what team he's in. Asula, no. Alanga, no. Willock, no. Byrne, no. Murphy, no. Bruno Guimaraes, yeah. And then we go to the bench. Whoever that person is, I think he's a goalkeeper. No. Ruddy, isn't Ruddy about 40 years old? No. Sven Botman, no. I think Sven Botman is a really good player, by the way, but he's always injured. So I would say no. Fabian Schär, no. Joelinton, no. Barnes, no. Target, no. Kraft, no. Livermorento, yes. I think he's very, very talented, but I don't think he's a starter, but I would say yes. Jacob Murphy, no. Ashby, no. Harrison, no. Hearns, no. Mudder, no. Neve, no. Miley, no. Sun Young Park, no. That's the question. This is the question. It's as simple as that. Newcastle have 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 players, including Isaac, 6. 6 players. Actually, there's one more player as well. There's the Lewis Hall. I think Lewis Hall's good enough as well. So Newcastle have got 6 players that are good enough to be in a top 14. In a top 14, Newcastle have got For me, 6 players. Okay. So you've got 6 players that are good enough to be in a top 14. And you're going into the Champions League for the first time in 2 years, and you've just won a cup. How many players do you need to sign? Literally, how many players do you need to sign to become a competitive team? Remember, all of those players are a year older. Kieran Trippier's a year older. Kraft's a year older. They're all a year older now. So the players that were Dan Burns 33, he's going to be 34. Like, they're all a year older. Okay, so they're all older now. Yeah, they've all done another season's worth of running. Now you get into a situation where how many players did Newcastle need to sign this window? 6, 7, 8? How many players did they need to sign? Liverpool are probably going to sign 7 players. And we already had a squad that was good enough to win the league and to go far in the Champions League and to get to a cup final. We already had that team. So you're looking at Newcastle now and you're going, well, you need a complete rebuild, if I'm completely honest. Well, who have they tried to sign? Should we go through the players that they tried to sign? They tried to sign Delap. Didn't get him. Is Delap a top 4 player? Honestly, he came from a relegated team. Is Delap a top 4 player? No, I don't think he's a top 4 player. I don't. He's not proven. He came from a relegated team. So no, he's not a top 4 player. João Pedro. Is João Pedro a top 4 player? I know Chelsea signed him, but these are the players they went for. João Pedro, is he a top 4 player? Well, if he hadn't gone to Chelsea, he'd still be at Brighton. So no. Okay, so that's a no for me. And then you're looking at other players. Who else did they try to sign? They tried to sign Bryan Mbeumo. Well, Bryan Mbeumo's going to a team that finished 15th. So no, he's not a top 4 player. There's another not a top 4 player that they tried to sign. Okay? They tried to sign Dean Huijsen. But they didn't get him because he went to Real Madrid. Is Dean Huijsen a top 4 player? At the time, when they tried to sign him, no. Because he played for Bournemouth and they weren't in the top 4. So no. He's gone to Real Madrid, but that still makes no difference. Mark Guehi, they want Mark Guehi. They tried to sign Mark Guehi. Yeah? Is he a top 4 player? Well, he's not a top 4 player when they tried to sign him because he's at Crystal Palace. But I think he could be. So there's a potential there. But they haven't got him. Liverpool have got him. Ekitike. Is Ekitike a top 4 player? They tried to sign him. I know he's gone to us, but they tried to sign him. Is he a top 4 player? Personally, I don't think he's a top 4 player in the Premier League. I don't think he's a top 4 player in the Premier League, but he might prove to be one. But I wouldn't have seen him as a top 4 player in the Premier League. But he signed for us, which means he might be. Like, he might end up being a really good player. Okay, so let's have a look at the Newcastle squad. Okay. By the way, they did quite well against Arsenal. By the way, just saying, they did quite well against Arsenal. So everyone like saying Arsenal are this incredible team. Newcastle could have got a draw. Okay. De Bragker's 36. Vassadimos, goalkeeper's 31. Nick Pope's 33. John Ruddy's 38. Mark Gillespie's 33. They're the goalkeepers. All their goalkeepers are old. Their best goalkeeper is Nick Pope. He's 33. Okay? They're looking for an upgrade. They're going for Aaron Ramsdale. Okay? That doesn't show me ambition. Aaron Ramsdale came from a relegated Southampton. That is not ambition. Even Trafford from a championship team into the Premier League is not ambition. Going for a Mangan from AC Milan, that's ambition. Go and flex your muscles. Go and spend 25 million on him. You agreed 27 million for Trafford. Go and get Mangan from AC Milan. He's a brilliant goalkeeper. Go and sign him. This is the question. Like, everybody's saying that, Isaac should stay. He should have ambition. He should stay with Newcastle. Fucking Newcastle haven't got any ambition. What are they doing? What are they doing to make Isaac want to stay? What are they doing for Isaac? Like, are they showing him ambition by signing players? Last season, we signed Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah on new contracts because we told them we were going to be ambitious. And then Virgil van Dijk was promised a big summer. What are we doing? We're spending nearly 300 million. That's called fucking ambition. That's called having a big summer. That's called showing your players that you mean business. Newcastle haven't done that. Newcastle have signed Anthony Elanga. Whoopie fucking do. Whoopie do. Anthony Elanga. He was a flop at Manchester United and he's had one good season at Notts Forest. I chose violence today. I really did. I chose violence. I said his name wrong, didn't I? Mangin. Manginin. Mingin. Is that his name? Mingin. Let's go through the centre-backs. Let's go through the defenders. Yeah? Let's look at the defenders. Kieran Trippier, 34. 34. He's garbage now. Sorry, he's garbage now. He's garbage. Sven Botman, 25, made of quavers. Injured consistently. Just injured consistently. Injured again, by the way. Fabian Schär, 33. 33 years old Fabian Schär is. Jamel Lascelles, 31. Matt Targett, 29. Crap. Lascelles, crap. Emil Kraft, 30. Crap. Don't even know. I didn't even know he was Swedish, by the way. Emil Kraft is Swedish. Didn't even know that. Like, crap. Lewis Hall, really good player. Really good player. Lewis Hall's on $7,000 a week, by the way. And Newcastle showing ambition by paying him $7,000 a week. Are they? Are they being ambitious? Do you think he might go? Do you think he might walk out the door soon? He's on $7,000 a week. Lewis Hall. Valentino Livermorento, 22. Really good player. He will go to Manchester City. Newcastle won't have a choice. They will have to sell him. They will have to sell him. His head will be turned. Harrison Ashby, 23. Never heard of him. Dan Burn, 33. Dan Burn, good player. Good player, 33 years old. Another old player at Newcastle. And Alex Murphy, 21. Newcastle have an ageing squad that is not good enough. It's not good enough to compete. Why do they assume that Alexander Isak should stay at them? Why is it like, oh my God, he should just stay? Why? Buy some fucking defenders that are half decent for a start. Like, upgrade your centre-back line. Like, you've literally got Jamel Lascelles as your third choice centre-back. Are you having a laugh? Like, that's like Liverpool having Dejan Lovren still. Like, seriously? Like, have a break. Like, get some players in. Like, upgrade your squad at least. Anthony Carrera, 18. Midfielders now. Midfielders. Anthony Carrera, 18. Never heard of him. Isaac Hayden, 30. I don't know who that guy is. Maybe he played for Arsenal, I think. That's where I've heard the name, Hayden. But I don't know. Joelinton, 28. Joelinton was signed as a centre-forward by Kevin Keegan. Was it Kevin Keegan? It might have been by Kevin Keegan, or it might have been by... oh, no, it wasn't. It was by Sam Allardyce for 40 million quid. Did you know that? Joelinton cost 40 million quid. 40 million quid he cost Newcastle. A long time ago as well. 28 years old. He is absolutely useless as a footballer, Joelinton. But you know what he's really good at? He's really good at kicking players in the air and fouling them and not getting booked. And I don't know why. I don't know how he gets away with it. I just do not know how he gets away with it. But that's what he does. That's exactly what Joelinton does all day on the pitch. And I watch him and I'm like, you're a cunt. Like, you are an absolute cunt of a footballer. Like, you're not skillful. You're not talented. You're just a big lump. You're a big oaf that just goes around doing people in on the pitch. And he gets away with it. Fair play. Like, he's made a career out of it and he's earned loads of money. Fair play to him. Sandro Tonali, very talented player, very questionable personality. He was a cheat, is what it is. Like, he's a cheat. He was a cheat. He got caught guilty. Blah, 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 blah. Probably still is. I don't know. But I wouldn't trust him at Liverpool. I wouldn't trust that personality. But he's a good player and he's 25. A lot of people didn't want to take a punt on him. Newcastle did. And they obviously got a player banned for a long time. But now they've got a player. Joe Willock, Arsenal flop, Newcastle flop. Sorry, just another Arsenal player that came out of that club with so much potential and ended up being gash. So many of them. Like, just, you can name about 50 Arsenal players that got signed out of that club and have just been garbage. Garbage, consistently garbage. Newcastle have bought some of them. A lot of teams buy ex-Arsenal players and they're all crap. Sorry, Arsenal, but they just are. Bruno Guimaraes, really good player. He's 27 years old now. 27 years old. He is older than all of our midfielders by 2 years. Our oldest midfielder is 25, Alexis McAllister. Just is. Like, Joe White, never heard of him, 22. He's 22, I've never heard of him. Lewis Miley, very, very talented, 19 years old. He may have to play a lot of football next year for Newcastle. And he might not be up to it. He just might not be up to it. He's just a kid. But they might have to throw him in the deep end. Lewis Hall, really talented player, made of quavers, always injured. Always injured. Injured at Chelsea, injured at Newcastle. Just saying. It is scorched earth right now, I'm sorry. Now we look at the forward line. They have a lot of forwards. Anthony Gordon, nobody wanted him. Chelsea looked at him. Arsenal looked at him. Nobody took a punt. He had a really poor season at Everton and Newcastle signed him. This is also the reason why Newcastle got Alexander Isak. He had a really poor season at Real Sociedad and Liverpool and Arsenal didn't want to make the deal. It's a lot of money for a player that only scored 6 goals in the previous season. It's a lot of money. And we were willing to do it, but Jurgen wanted Nunes. It is what it is. It is what it is. But Anthony Gordon could be special. Maybe he's not going to get that chance. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him at Newcastle, especially this season. He's got to produce the goods. Harvey Barnes, another talented player, 27 years old now, always injured. He was injured last season, injured the season before, injured the season before that. Okay? Still a good player, but he's 27. Isak, 25 years old. The guy is a fucking unicorn. He's a unicorn. He can do what a winger does. He can do what a target man does. He can do what a false 9 does. He can do what a centre forward does. He can do everything. He is a unicorn. He is one of a kind. There are no other players in the world as good as him at doing all of the things that every type of forward can do at once. There isn't. And that's why Liverpool want him. And that's why Liverpool will get him. There's nobody better. He runs the lines, he can go out wide, he can hold the ball up, he can take players on, he can burn past defenders, he can dribble past defenders, he can do absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. But Newcastle, I'm literally reading out your team. And if you think one of the world's best players in the number 9 position should stay at your club, please tell me what your club is doing to make this player stay. And this is the question. Because everybody's on Isaac's back. Literally, all the media are on his back. All the other fans are on his back. All the other rivals are on his back. Everybody is on Isaac's back, trying to make it difficult for him to make a decision which is fucking blatantly, obviously easy. And it's, I want to win loads of fucking trophies before I get old, and Liverpool is the club to do it at. That's it. That is literally all you need to answer. And for everybody to be having a go at this poor guy, I think is just ridiculous. William Asuna, I didn't even know he was from Denmark, by the way, but he's from Denmark. 21 years old. Yeah, you've got some hard work ahead of you, mate. Anthony Elanga, 23, from Sweden. He's okay. He's okay. I wouldn't want him at Liverpool, but he's okay. Like, would I be surprised if he'd have gone to Everton? No. Would I have been surprised if he'd signed from Nottingham Forest to, I don't know, Brentford? No. Am I surprised he went from Nottingham Forest to Newcastle? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Because, like, Nottingham Forest aren't going to be in the top 5 or 6. Again, they're not. They're just not. Like, that's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So, no. Was £55 million a lot of money for him? Fuck yeah. How much did he cost from Manchester United? I can't remember. Was he like less than 15 million? Because I think he cost less than 15 million. So, great sign in Newcastle. That's really showing ambition. Or did you just get him because he was Isaac's mate? Because unfortunately, I don't think Elanga and Isaac are friends. I've never seen them together ever, and I've looked to see whether those two actually know each other, and they don't. So maybe you should have got Gyökeres. And then you've got the other players. Jacob Murphy, one good season, 30 years old. Fair play. Garang Carroll, never heard of him, Australian. And then Trevin Susuni, who's 18. So shall we just take a look at another team? And should we just look at this other team? And should we just look at the players and then just see if if this team has ambition for Isaac to be in this team? What do you reckon? Shall we have a look at this team, this squad, and just see if some of these players are the type of players that are ambitious, that make Isaac think, well, hang on a minute, I might be able to do something here. Like, I might be able to win some trophies. This team, we know quite a lot about this team. Shall we have a look at the goalkeepers? Alisson Becker. Oh, he's the best in the world. And he's probably been the best in the world for a couple of years. Georgi Mamadashvili, 24 years old, Georgian international. I think that's a really good backup. Do you think Georgi Mamadashvili could be Newcastle's number 1 goalkeeper? Yes or no? And this is where I want to go with this. You know where I'm going with this. I'm looking at some of our players and seeing if they could be number 1 players at Newcastle. And this is the difference. This leap is gigantic. And this is where I want to put why this player should be at Liverpool and why the Newcastle fans Just need to know there's an inevitability about it. And I keep on saying that word, inevitability. But there is. Georgi Mamardashvili walks into the Newcastle team and he's the number one goalkeeper. Okay, that's just a fact. And he's our number 2. Okay. Let's have a look at our defence. Joe Gomez. Does Joe Gomez go into the Newcastle team and become their best defender? Yes or no? Joe Gomez. Yes or no? Does he walk into the Newcastle team as a centre-back and become their best defender ahead of Fabian Schär and Sven Botman and Jamel Lascelles? The answer to that is yes. So our third choice centre-back would become Newcastle's first choice centre-back. Ambition. Okay, so let's have a look at the left back and the right back position. Does Kostas Tsimikas go into the Newcastle team, yeah, as the left-sided as the left back, and does he become the number one left back at Newcastle ahead of what's his name, Kieran Trippier? Does Kostas get in ahead of Kieran Trippier? I would say probably, yeah. I would say he would. Kieran Trippier's always injured. So you think Botman's better than him? But Botman's... that's a fair point. He's a fair point. Botman's a really good player, but he's always injured. So he would start, though. Joe Gomez would start with Botman. Lewis Hall is better than Tsimikas, but Lewis Hall is also another player who's always injured. Okay, so Kostas would be second choice. All right, then. So Andy Robertson. Would Andy Robertson be the first choice left back at Newcastle? Yes or no? Because now he's our second choice. Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson go in and start as the first choice left back at Newcastle? No, a lot of people are saying no to Andy Robertson as well. That's an interesting one. I find that interesting. All right, and Conor Bradley. Does Conor Bradley go into Newcastle and become their first choice right back? Does Conor Bradley? No, Conor Bradley doesn't become their first choice right back. Okay, that's interesting. All right, then. So Conor Bradley, Andy Robertson, and Joe Gomez wouldn't be their first choice, but they'd all start. Would you say they'd all start? I'd say Bradley would start for Newcastle. Sorry, I think Bradley would start for Newcastle. I think Gomez would start for Newcastle either. So let's look at the midfield. Curtis Jones. Does Curtis Jones start for Newcastle? Yes or no? Curtis Jones, does he start for Newcastle? Does Harvey Elliott start for Newcastle? Does Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott start for Newcastle? We don't even think Livermorento is going to be there, mate. I don't even think Livermorento is going to be there. Okay, and then should we just look at the attack? It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Wouldn't this be interesting to look at? Does Luis Diaz or Darwin Núñez start for Newcastle? Luis Diaz or Darwin Núñez start for Newcastle? So Luis Diaz would be on the left. Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez start for Newcastle. Neither of them. Neither of them. Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. That's fair. So there's a lot of people that think that Anthony Gordon and Murphy are better than Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez. So what about Cody Gakpo? Would Cody Gakpo get in? Would he be a starter? Would he be a starter? I could compare the first team players for Liverpool, but what would be the point? Because we know they're all star players. We know they walk into any team. I'm comparing the reserve players. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We have reserve players that can walk into Newcastle's team. Our starters would walk into Newcastle's team anyway, the majority of them. There's only 2 players in the Newcastle team which would start for Liverpool, and that's Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak. That's what I'm saying. Every other player would not get into the Liverpool team. But Liverpool's reserve players would get into the Newcastle team. And that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point in what are Newcastle doing to rectify that? Well, the players they tried to sign wouldn't even get into a Liverpool team. But they want to be at the top. They want to be successful. You have a guy that wants to be successful, that wants to achieve the ultimate goals. He wants to win trophies. He wants to win Premier Leagues. He wants to win Champions Leagues. But he's not going to achieve that at Newcastle. And Newcastle can't get there because their own ambition isn't signing the type of players which are going to get them there. I've just listed you all of the players that they tried to sign. None of them are needle movers. None of them are players which are going to get you there. They're not. None of them. Like, you're linked with one defender. Seriously? You were linked with Dean Huijsen, and you've not tried to get any others. Like, that is a massive deficiency. Your centre-back position is an absolute mess. Like, Joe Gomez starts for you. Like, Joe Gomez walks into your team as a starter, and you haven't tried to sign a centre-back? Like, really? You haven't tried to sign a centre-back? Like, there are so many centre-backs out there that you could try and sign. Like, why haven't you gone and tried to sign the guy that went to Arsenal, Mosquera? Like, why haven't you tried to sign Joe Gomez from us? Why didn't you try and sign Gerald Quansah? Like, seriously? You didn't even think you'd try and buy Gerald Quansah. Like, he's gone to buy Leverkusen. Like, you could have put a £35 million bid in for him. You tried to sign him last season. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, their own ambition is in the mud. It's in the mud. They've only got a couple of weeks left, and every player they've gone for, they've been rejected. And they're whinging about Alexander Isak wanting to leave. I'm surprised nobody else has wanted to leave. I'm surprised Bruno Guimaraes isn't on the phone to Manchester City saying, come on, Pep, get me in your midfield, mate. Livermorento's not on the phone to Pep going, come on, get me over there. Like, what is Newcastle doing? Like, seriously, what are Newcastle doing? Like they could have gone for Gibbs White. Like, Gibbs White agreed to go to Tottenham. They could have gone for him. Like, there's no ambition by Newcastle. And for everybody to sit there and think, oh, well, Isak should just stay because he's got a 3-year contract. No, he fucking shouldn't. No, he fucking shouldn't. So do you think Newcastle are going to finish in the top 5 next season? After what Chelsea have just done? Manchester United have just bought two forwards that scored nearly 40 goals last season. You don't think Manchester United are going to be back up there? They've got plenty of goals. They're trying to spend the money. And who are Newcastle targeted with? Johan Wissa. Put it all on Johan Wissa, yeah? Yeah. Put all your chips on him. Poor guy. And who? Benjamin Sesko. They're going to spend, 80 million on Benjamin Sesko? Have they got 80 million? Have they got 80 million? Because they didn't bid 80 million for Ekitike. They bid like 62. And this is the question. This is what I'm trying to say. Like everybody is on this Isak train that he should stay at Newcastle, and they have every right to stop him from the move. And it's unfair that he's doing this. And all his players are starting to dislike him because of it. And he's greedy because he wants a pay rise. The guy would have signed a new contract for you last year. He made that abundantly clear. But Paul Mitchell said no. No. He's on enough money. He's on 120 grand a week. Why would we pay him more? Well, I'm sorry, Newcastle. If you think you want to be number one and your owner's coming out saying in 2023, I want to be number one, then you need to start paying your players decent wages. And if you're not paying your players decent wages, then you ain't signing anyone. So Newcastle need to have a reality check and look in the mirror before they start bouncing their gums and mouthing off about players wanting to leave and letting the team down and other teams taking their best players and how much money are you spending? Well, you need to take a look in the mirror because you need to spend some money yourself and you need to start paying your players decent wages and you need to start going for better signings. Otherwise, I'm sorry, they're all going to leave. They're all going to leave because they can go elsewhere and they can get better money and they can have more opportunities to win. And if it wasn't for the fact that Trent was injured and we were knackered because we'd had to play PSG twice, we'd have probably beaten you in the final. There's a good chance we probably would have beat you in the final. But we were done in. We were completely cooked. We had nothing left in the tank. We just played back-to-back games in a row, and we also squeezed Aston Villa in there as well, and Everton, and then we had Hughes. And unfortunately, we were cooked. Like, it is what it is. But guess what? We won the league, and you didn't. And we won the league in a canter. And we got 181 million for doing it. And what are we doing with it? We are showing ambition and buying the best in class and paying them really good wages. And that's why Alexander Isak wants to come. That's why he wants to come to Liverpool. And you can give me all this Alan Shearer. Oh, I'm disappointed. Oh, I'm going to go and have a conversation with him. Yeah, good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that. Because the last conversation I heard you have a conversation with him, you asked him whether he was signing a new contract and he laughed in your face. He laughed in your face. Anyway, I've done a little rant on that. If you enjoyed it, definitely let me know. That was my little rant on that. Let me share some stuff with you. Okay, here we go. Here we go, La. What have I got for you? Right. What have I got for you? Okay, I have some bits on Isak. Alexander Isak isn't a dream for LFC anymore. It's a target. More details tomorrow about the decisive week Reds are ready to face behind the scenes, looking for the giant Swedish saga on. It's not a dream anymore. And we talked about this. They talked about this being a dream. It's not a dream. Alexander Isak has rejected more than 3 contract renewal offers from Newcastle in the last months. Sources confirm that Isak rejected several renewal offers, contract offers that would have made him the highest paid player in Newcastle's history by a big gap. Alexander Isak wants to leave the club. The decision is for sporting reasons and not a financial reason, sources confirm. Isak wants to win. He wants to win the biggest awards in the world, both team and personal terms. He wants to win the Premier League, Champions League, and the Ballon d'Or one day. You cannot go at this guy. And this is the guy we want. We want winners. We want people that want to win over and over again. That's what we want. That's exactly what you need at your club. And these are all the things that we want our players to say. All the things we want our players to say. And this source has been right about everything. Trust me. He dropped the Luis Diaz stuff on the 19th of July, and the guy got signed yesterday. He's way, way ahead of the game. Okay? He's from the Middle East as well. What else have I got for you? I've got so much stuff here. Ben Jacobs. Newcastle are braced for a Liverpool bid for Isaac. LFC are intent on signing him, but it's a step-by-step. I don't think Diaz solely unlocks an approach in the matter of minutes, hours or days. Newcastle need to find a replacement, and then maybe their not-for-sale stance softens. Well, you know what they're going for. They've already bid for Wissa, and they're also going for Sesko. If it gets to a point of a bid, that won't be out of grandstanding or a show-off. It won't be blind. Liverpool want a bid with confidence, which means that Newcastle almost have to inform them that may happen if they get a replacement, knowing they have got an unhappy player. Eddie Howe has already dropped the hint that he's not going to be at Newcastle next summer. He said it in a press conference yesterday. He doesn't know whether he's going to be there when they get back. He says that they're going to have a conversation. Newcastle have to make a decision. That's what he said in a press conference. Why do Newcastle have to make a decision? Why have Newcastle have to make a decision about Isaac when they know they weren't selling him? He's not for sale. So Newcastle have to make a decision, which means that something's happened. Something's changed. Something has changed. Eddie Howe said it in a press conference. I think the transfer stance has changed. I think it's dropped. I think the price has dropped as well. Hang on, I'm just going to change that because we've seen that one. This is in Sky Sports. Liverpool FC attack Alexander Isak. This week, the Reds officially launch an attack on the Swedish striker. 9 hours ago. This one is going to move. This is going to move fast. Really going to move fast, this one. LSC scheduled a meeting with Newcastle this week for Alexander Isak. The Reds hope to convince the Magpies with a $120 million offer plus bonuses. Personal terms, okay. And this is the thing we need to remember. Personal terms have already been agreed. Liverpool have offered him a 5-year plus 1-year extension contract at around £15 million. This has already been talked about by a few journos now. The money is there. The wages are there. We are willing to pay big money to get this guy in. 250 grand. 250 grand a week. We are not messing around. We know what this guy's worth. Alexander Isak has been heavily linked with a switch to Liverpool. And the Newcastle star currently wouldn't be able to take the number 14 shirt. And this is the number 14 shirt that we talked about. He wants the number 14 shirt. Well, who wears the number 14 shirt, you may ask? Federico Chiesa wears the number 14 shirt. And Federico Chiesa didn't go on the tour. And he plans to leave Liverpool. with Syria at its destination. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. He's not injury prone. He's not injury prone. The reason why Alexander Isak got injured is because they absolutely flogged him in the Champions League. They flogged him. Like, they played him every single game, and he can't play every single game. Like, he can't play every single game. And who do we have at Liverpool? We have Ruben Peters, who got injuries reduced by 62% last year. You don't think he can fix Isak? You don't think that's a conversation that they've had? You don't think they've sat down and looked at it all and gone, all right, maybe this guy might get injuries, but can we mitigate it by not playing him every single game, by giving him a different training schedule, just like Konate? And Konate got one injury last season, and it was because that little prick Endrick took him out. I'm going scorched earth tonight. I'm sorry. I hope you like it. I tell you what, I'm giving you an absolute show tonight. So show your support and drop me some super chats for my birthday, because I've gone absolute scorched earth for you lot tonight over Isak. So show me your dedication. Show me your support. Super chat me or become a member. Become a member. Become a member is even better, because then you can join other shows. So become a member. That's even better for me. What else have we got? Got loads of stuff. Also wanted to drop this one as well. Crystal Palace have gone after Bilal El Kahunas, who plays for Leicester City. He's also on RB Leipzig's list to replace Xavi Simons. I just wanted to mention that because I think that Crystal Palace are going to start buying players to replace the players that they're selling. So I think we need to look out to see whether they're looking at any central defenders, because they're now looking to replace players which are going out the door, and Kahunas could replace Eze. And I also think that maybe Ben Doak might pop up as well, which is why I wanted to show you this. We can also hit that one as well. He's completing a 4-year contract. Apparently he's going to Bayern Munich tomorrow or today. I think it's tomorrow. So he'll be at Bayern Munich. That deal's going to get done. That works out about 75 million in total with the add-ons. It's a great bit of business. We paid 36 million for him, I believe. Absolutely brilliant bit of business. Also wanted to drop this one as well, which was, there was an unnamed Saudi club. I wanted to drop this because a lot of people are still thinking that Konate might go, and I just don't think that's the case anymore. There was an unnamed Saudi club that contacted Konate's representatives to register their interest, and he rebuffed it. He rebuffed the chance of sitting down at the negotiating table with another Saudi club, where he wants to continue competing at the highest level. Had Konate provided any encouragement that he was open to a move, the unnamed suitor would have been able to kickstart talks with Liverpool over a deal. He's turned down the opportunity to go to Saudi. And this is also what I wanted to show you. There's a lot about Konate recently which really does make me think he's staying. Like, he's staying at the club. So let me show you this picture. Don't you worry, I've got don't worry, I've got an update on Rodrigo. I can see you all in the chat. The Reds are determined to improve upon last season and go again as Premier League champions, explained Ibrahim Konate. Can I just ask you the question? Why would he do that? Why would he say that in an interview? Like, why would he say that he wants to win another Premier League? He wants to win the Champions League? Like, why is Konate doing all of the media for Liverpool at the moment? He's doing all the videos. He's doing all the funny stuff. He's doing interviews with Ekatike. Konate is being put in a more social environment where he is part of the leadership group. I can guarantee you that he has been moved into the leadership group at Liverpool, and he is being made more of a senior player. And all of these things all bode well for Liverpool when he's just been offered a new contract and he sat there waiting to decide on it. Hughes has put a new contract down on the table, and it is a significant increase. And this stuff, he wants 200,000. I actually think it's more. I actually think he wants more. But that's irrelevant. But I think he stays, and I think he signs a new contract. I'm convinced. I'm just convinced. There's so much about what Konate's doing now in front of the camera. Like, he does literally own an LFC camera right now, doesn't he? He is basically the video photographer for LFC right now. So it's interesting. I just think it's a really interesting one. And he's on Liverpool FC's Instagram page doing an interview. Like, there's a lot about Konate now, which makes me think he is in the inner circle. Yeah, it does. Makes me think he's in the inner circle. He might be the vice captain. He might get made the vice captain. It would make a lot of sense. Like, if you want to keep a guy, it means that much to you, and he's the guy that wants to be a captain, maybe chuck him in as the vice captain. It's a fair point. It's an absolutely fair point. I'll pick up USA Copeye. Big up, mate. Thanks for the happy birthdays. Thanks for the happy birthday super chat. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. Right, I need to fly through some of this now, otherwise we're going to be here all night. Okay, so where are we? So let's have a look at some of the Isaac stuff that I'm going to fly through. This is all the Isaac stuff now. Isaac dreams of Liverpool, Fabrizio Romano. I'm just going to bomb through all of these, okay? There's so much stuff around Isaac now. It's quite scary. Like, if this doesn't happen, it's like, what the F? Where is it? Okay, this one from IndyColor. Isaac meets agent and still refuses to attend training. Alexander Isaac had a sit-down meeting with his agent today, and it's clear as day. Liverpool is the only club in his mind. His agent stated that LFC and Newcastle are set to meet tonight to discuss the next steps. Liverpool are ready to smash the British transfer record to bring him into the club, but it all comes down on Newcastle giving the thumbs up, which is what Ben Jacobs said. Meanwhile, Isaac is still not showing up to individual training sessions at Newcastle. He's sending a message loud and clear. His heart at Anfield. That's that one. What else have I got? Ivan Shrankov, complete agreement being told on Isaac's side. Terms agreed. That's the bit we didn't get done with Caicedo, remember? That's the bit we didn't get done with Caicedo, but we've done that now. This one, being told Liverpool in direct discussions with Newcastle today to strike a deal for Alexander Isak. Personal terms agreed with the player, Liverpool confident. Just saying, this guy's been bang on all season, and he's never given up on this one. He's always said it's Isak. This one's interesting because this kind of moves Juventus away from Nunez. So Juventus are in contact with PSG over Randall Colomiani. So I think the Nunez deal might fall on that. But I have got other news on Nunez. AC Milan and Juventus are interested in Nunez. That's from Alex Crook. He's expected to leave. But there is another interesting one for Darwin Núñez, which I'll show you now. Which is this one. Oh no, it's not that one. This one here. It's this one here. So this is from the Bild. So recent reports from German outlet Bild claim the Magpies were considering a move for Núñez after the Reds beat them to the signature for Ekitike. Don't rule out him going to Newcastle, because if he wants to stay in the Premier League, that is an option. Benjamin Sesko is valued around 60 to 70 million. They could have Núñez. They could happily take Núñez off us, and Núñez would fit them. He would. I also wanted to show you this because I think it's funny. How many goals do you think this guy scores next season for Sporting? How many goals? Do you think this guy scores 40 goals? He's the successor for Victor Gyökeres. Luis Suarez, funny name, yeah? How many goals do you think he scores for Sporting next season? I reckon he scores maybe 5 goals less than Gyökeres. I'm just saying. He'll absolutely bang it. He'll bang it. And he's signed from Almere, by the way. And Almere is the team that Benfica signed Darwin Núñez from. No, I haven't seen that. I've also got an update on Rodrigo, which I will show you as well. 2 seconds. I've got an update on Sesko. This one here. So from Dairo AS, Real Madrid have expected to lower the original asking price for Rodrigo. They're now considering offers below 90 million euros. 90 million euros. How much is 90 million euros? I ask you all. 90 million euros to pounds. How much is that? 78 million sterling. We've just got 65. Have I just got a super chat? Did I get another super chat? Oh, sorry, Daryl. Daryl, I'm really sorry, mate. Thanks a lot, buddy. Really sorry. I missed that super chat, bud. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Daryl. Thanks for the birthday super chat, buddy. Sorry, I missed that. So price has dropped to 78 million. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that an interesting price? It seems to be a price that we look at. I also wanted to show you this as well because I thought this was quite interesting from The Athletic. It basically gives you sorry, I'm just going to go to that dial. It gives you an overview of non-homegrown players in the Premier League. Liverpool have got 16. And we're about to lose 2 more. Oh, I got 2 supers and 2 gift subs. Have I? Oh, sorry. Let me double check. I missed that. That one. Thanks, USA Copite. Thanks, Daryl. I don't use StreamYard, so I can't store them, if that makes sense. They don't pop up on the side. Have I got more gifts? Bear with me. No, I haven't. I can't see any. Maybe they're actually on the channel. Maybe they're on the channel and I missed them. So I've got Oliver's, and I got no, that was it. I've definitely done those. How many likes have we got? Oh, 161 likes. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah. So so I just wanted to show you that because I thought that was quite interesting. That we have 16 non-homegrown players. I can't actually see Newcastle on there. Newcastle got 8. Newcastle got 8 non-homegrown players. But yeah. So those two teams are my guess too. My source doesn't know who the teams are, but it's obvious. It's PSG and Real Madrid. What's that for? AA. Oh, is that for them? It makes sense why the club have been chasing Guehi and the young centre-back in Leone Zani. ZZ's now going to Saudi Arabia. Oh, good for him. Good for him. Like a 22-year-old going to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, great. Go and play against 500 people. Yeah, Rodrigo's asking for absolutely ridiculous money. Look, and I know you're probably going to say I'm talking nonsense. Like, and I get it. Like, I get it. Like, some people just don't believe some of the stuff that people say, but I still think we make a move for Barcola. I still think we make a move for Barcola. Like, I know it's wild. But I still think we make a move for Barcola because Richard Hughes wants Barcola. Richard Hughes wants Barcola. Like, this is just what he wants. He really, really rates this player. He thinks Bradley Barcola can be an unbelievable talent. He thinks he could be so special. And Rodrigo is not a Richard Hughes. He's not a Richard Hughes signing. Rodrigo is not a Richard Hughes signing. Rodrigo is a Michael Edwards signing, and also our scouting committee signing. I mean, genuinely, our scouting committee want Malik Fofana, but Malik Fofana is probably going to go to Everton. But Richard Hughes wants Barcola, and there's a reason why we've been linked with Barcola for quite a bit of time. It kind of sits a little bit like the Ekitike deal for me. I think Barcola might end up being pushed out of PSG. Edwards wants Rodrigo. I know that. I know Edwards wants Rodrigo, but Hughes wants Barcola. And I think we go and get Barcola. Like, I think we might go and get. I think. Look. I'll show you this stat. Okay, I'll show you this stat. Okay, let me show you this stat. Right, did I take a screenshot of it? I don't actually think I took a screenshot of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, actually, yeah, it does. Let me show you this. Okay, 2 seconds. Let me just show you this for a second. Right. Okay, so think of it like this. Yeah. Those two sales make 117 million quid. Those two sales. Okay. Alexander Isak isn't going to cost 150 million. Like, they've already softened their stance, and 130 is being mentioned now. Up to 130 is being mentioned now. Okay. So it's gone from 150. It went from 200. Yeah. And the interesting thing about 200, okay, is the Premier League will not allow it. The Premier League will not allow a player to be priced at 200 million. Ben Jacobs has said this. Ben Jacobs has said this on TalkSport. The Premier League will not allow a player to be listed at 200 million. So is Stefan Borson, by the way, who's like the Manchester City guru of how they get away with all of their cheatery. Yeah. And he said the Premier League will not allow a player to be sold for 200 million. It's just unsustainable. It doesn't make sense. So they won't allow it. And Newcastle want 200 million. They're not going to get it because of the PIF stuff and the PSR stuff. So they won't get it. So they've reduced it to 150. Well, they've already reduced it now from 150 to 130, up to 130. Liverpool are probably going to get Alexander Isak for around 120 to 135 million. In that region. That's how much he's going to cost in that region. And you have to ask the question, is he really worth 150 million quid? And the answer is no. No, he isn't. He isn't worth 150 million quid. He isn't. He plays for Newcastle. If he played for Real Madrid and he'd won multiple Champions Leagues and league titles, I'm sat there going, yeah, this guy's worth it. Like, this guy's worth a ton. But he plays for Newcastle and he's won one trophy. He's won one trophy. He's won 2 trophies in his entire career, by the way. And he's never been a Golden Boot winner and he's never got any awards. So is he worth 150 million quid? No, he isn't. Is he worth 100 million quid as a top Premier League striker? Probably. Between 90 and 100, I would say. But we're going to have to pay more, which is why 120 to 135 million is way over the odds. But if that's what it takes to get him out of the club, then that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And that's it. And Diaz and Nunes pretty much pay for it. And those 2 players we have paid for. And this is the difference in Liverpool compared to every other club in the world right now, apart from Brighton and potentially Bournemouth. We don't owe any player salaries. We don't owe any player sales money. We're not paying for any more players. We haven't got any installments. We haven't got this to pay. We're not still paying for one of our strikers from 2 years ago, like Manchester United are, Manchester and all the other clubs are. Arsenal are doing it. Man United are doing it. Chelsea are doing it. They're all doing it. They're all paying for players still. Liverpool don't. All paid off. No debt. No debt. No more extras. Nothing to pay. All done. We just won a league. We just paid out all of our bonuses. It's all done. It's all done. We won the Champions League recently, a couple of years ago. We paid all of the Champions League bonuses. There's no more money to pay off. Every single bit of money we make can go back into other players. So we've spent 193 million. Sorry, we spent 293 million this window. Yeah. We've made 193 million in player sales since we've had Hughes at the club. Hughes has been at the club for 12 months. No, 14 months. 14 months and he's made 193 million. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And everybody's talking about, how can Liverpool afford all these players? How can Liverpool pay for this? Because we're fucking geniuses at balancing books. We are the best in the business. We are the professionals. Brighton are really good at it as well, by the way. Chelsea are really good at it, but they've got the loophole factor. But Liverpool, we do it the real way. Profit, sales, profit, sales. And you don't think we can go and get an Isak, and you don't think we can go and get a Barcola, And you don't think we can still go and get a Guehi? Oh, yes, we can. Oh, yes, we can. Because if we were allowed to spend 500 million without being a PSR problem, we're going to make back 200 million. So we're going to spend 500 million, but it's only going to be 300 million, which means we do get an Isaac and we do get a Barcola. And that's it. That is really it. In the last 2 seasons, we've made 193 million already in player sales. That is mind-boggling when we didn't sign anyone last year. We didn't sign anyone last year. So we gone and got Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkez, and Ekitike. And then we had Alexander Isak, and we had Mark Guehi, and we potentially had Barcola at the last one, Barcola. How much is that going to cost us? Seriously, let's work out the money. Let's work out the money. So let's work out the money. 265 million. Okay, I'll share my screen so you can just see it. Okay, 265 million. 265 million. It's there. 265 million. Okay, so if you've got 265 million that you've spent already, yeah, and then you add what, another 135, shall we say? Shall we just say we pay full whack for Isaac? Just say we pay 120 million. Okay, so that's 265 plus 120 plus 40 plus, let's just say 80 for Barcola. Yeah, let's just say 80 for Barcola. That's 505 million. 505 million. Yeah. Minus 193. 312 million. 312 million we would have spent because we'd have got in 193 million already. And then who else are we looking to sell? Well, we haven't sold Nunes yet. So say we get 50 million minus 50 million. What if we sell Elliott for 50 million? Minus 50 million. What if we sell Chiesa for 10 million? Minus 10 million. What if we sell Morton for 10 million? Minus 10 million. What if we sell Kostas Tsimikas for 10 million? Minus 10 million. What if we sell Ben Doak for 20 million? Let's put 15 million. Minus 15 million. Shall we just leave it there? 167 million. And everybody is talking about Liverpool. How can they spend all this money? It's because we sell players that are worth value. The most expensive Arsenal player ever still is the one we signed for 40 million, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Like, they don't make any money. There's not many clubs that make any money off player sales. Newcastle made a load of money off player sales, but it was in Saudi, so they didn't actually get any PSR for it. Chelsea do it because Chelsea just sell to their own sister clubs. And they've got some kind of weird deal going with Arsenal for some reason, which is odd. But Liverpool sell players of value. We've just sold Luis Diaz for 65 million. We bought him for 36. Like, we're going to sell Nunes for 50. We're going to get 50 million for Nunes. We're going to get 50 million for Elliott. Elliott cost us, I don't know, 1.5 million. Like, Tyler Morton was free. We'll get for 15 for him. Like, honestly, we're just really good at being a football club. Player sales, player purchases, in and out. I reckon the net spend will be around 150 million. You're right, Duffers. About 150 million net spend, and we sign Isaac, we sign Barcola, and we sign Mark Wahey. I'm not kidding you. I think the net spend will probably be around that. It's just insane. It's insane how good we can do this, how good the business is we can do. It's insane. Like, we turned down 150 million for Mo Salah. We all forgot that. Next season, they'll come back. You don't think they're going to come back with another 150 million next season if Mo Salah has another 20, 30 goaler season? You don't think we'll go and get another 150 million for him or 100 million for him? Liverpool are just built differently, ran differently. It's a real business. It's a real enterprise. Like, we get more money this season now because we've got more seats. We've got more corporate facilities. We've got a new sponsor. We've got a new kit sponsor. We've got Adidas. We've got more merch. We've got potentially 4 players that are all sponsored by Adidas. In Mo Salah is sponsored by Adidas now. Wirtz, Ekatike, and Isaac. And Rio Gigamo is sponsored by Adidas as well. Like, I'm telling you, I think Barcola is a curveball. I think Barcola could be a curveball. It could be Rodrigo. But I just don't see it. But yeah, let's all just be more positive now. Like, let's get behind Isaac. Like, Isaac's got a choice to make, and he's making the right choice. And he deserves to be at a club that can win trophies on a regular basis and potentially get him closer to a Ballon d'Or. Like, that's a dream. That's a dream to have. Why not? Like, the guy's been absolutely unbelievable in the Premier League. Like, get him to Liverpool and let's see him do it in the Champions League. And I've got no doubt the guy's a unicorn. Unbelievable stuff. Anyway, I'm just going to forward you on to another show. There's 250 of you, and you've been here all night. Big up, honestly. Big up. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I think Wirtz is on 250 as well, by the way. I think Wirtz is on 250. If you haven't hit the like, subscribe, please do. I'm on the road to 2,000. Like, I've got 1,600 and something now, which is amazing. Really appreciate it. Since when did we want Barcola? Since Hughes has said he wants him. Free the world. I don't blame you. Free the world. Let's do it. Like, why not? World peace. Like, no more wars, no more death, no more violence. I'm all for it. Like, really don't want that in my world. Okay, so I'm just going to forward you on to someone else. I'm just going to do a quick drop of all the members that are in. Duffers, Squiggly, Fireburn, Alex J. Who else I want to shout it out? Oliver James, Roger Meso, Daryl, Urim, Emil Heskey, Podge, Socks. Have I missed anyone else? I don't think I missed anyone else. So that's all the members that dropped in today. Also, big up all the people who dropped super chats, and also everyone that joined my membership show yesterday. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. If we can get 15 more likes, that would be amazing. To take it to 200, that would be amazing. And if anyone wants to drop me a birthday super chat or a super thanks, please do. every little helps. And I'm just going to forward you on to another show now. Bear with me. Who is the lucky person who's going to get 250 drop into their show? Let's have a look. Who's going to get 250 drop into their show? It's going to be Coppish. So stick in there kmack raid, you lovely people. Stick in there kmack raid, and I will see you all tomorrow. You all take care. Okay, good night. Bye-bye. 21 for 20 for Jota. See you later. Bye-bye.